Come on, I'm going to say it like the old folk. You say, we trying to get all of our ducks in a row before we move. And then after we moved, the ducks was in a row, but nothing happened. See, it's better to move on God's timing with your ducks out of line than to think you know more than God. You remember Peter in 1 Peter 4:12? He said, beloved, think it not what? Strange. Concerning what? The fiery trial. Hold up. Which is to what? Try you. It is to what? Try you. Try what? Your faith. It's going to try your belief. It's going to try what you said. It's going to try what you expecting. Are you truly expecting what you say you was expecting? It's normal for things and people to try to interfere. But back to what I said earlier, it's my responsibility not to allow anything to interfere with me only believing. Are y'all in class tonight? With me doing what? Only believing. Remember, because when it's only believe, certain things must be excluded, or there can be no room for certain things. If I am to get this, there can be no doubt in my mind that God can do it. It takes my mind back years ago when we got our house that we stay in now. Me calling the bank, hooking up with a woman. She talks to me. She gets the information. I give her the home, the price, all of this. I need the pre-approval. I know I'm operating in faith because God said, now is the time. And so I started moving off God saying, now is the time. I connect with this banker. Weeks go by without her calling me. Finally, I get her to call back. And I say, hey, I've been reaching out to you, seeing what's going on. I ain't heard from you. And basically, she says, Leonard, she said, I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember all that she said because I had to dump it right out of my mind. She says, Leonard, going to be honest with you. I did not call you back because, and she was trying to be careful, you know, she was saying, because really I think what you're looking at as far as the price range, I felt like this was a little out of your range. And so I didn't call you back, and that was the reason. And I was saying to myself, you're so unprofessional. I want to go off on that. You're so unprofessional. You should at least call. You should at least let me know. But when she said that, listen to me. Now I have a responsibility. She has put something on the table. Does it remain on the table, or do I exclude it? What do I do with it? How does what she say to me affect my belief? And I knew that it had to be excluded. Because if I was to get this house as if I was some dummy, I know what it costs. I'm the one told you what it costs and what they were asking for. But I could not allow her to interfere. Come on. I couldn't allow her to interfere. I found me another bank. And upon dealing with this guy, this is what I told him. I said, look, if you're going to be the guy, I said, I'm going to ask one thing of you. And that is that throughout this process, I want you to just believe with me that no matter what we run into, it's going to work out. He said, say that again, Leonard. I said, what I want you to do is no matter what happens throughout this process, I said, I just want you to believe with me that it's going to work out. He said, I'm on board, Leonard. Let's get you pre-approved. He called me one day. He said, Leonard, I'm about to submit this to the underwriters, and I got to say, it doesn't look good. I told him, I said, remember what I told you. What did I tell you at the beginning? He said, you told me to just believe that it's going to go through. I said, that's what I need, man. I just need you to believe that it's going to go through. He said, well, Leonard, I did tell you that, and I said I would do it. He said, I'm going to submit it to the underwriters. By then, I had a realtor calling me. And Donna will remember this as long as me and her live. Probably. I got the message. I didn't answer the phone on purpose because I knew I didn't have from the bank what she wanted at that time. And so I knew I'm going to call her back now. I'm going to be like the other woman. And so she left a message. When I listened to the voicemail said this right here. Donna, you remember. She said, Leonard, she said, we're in the 11th hour and I need to hear something. Never forget it. I hung up, Donna and said, what she said? I said, she said, we're in the 11th hour. I never heard that term. She said, we're in the 11th hour and I need to hear something from you. And when I listened to it, I said, no, I'm in the 11th hour and I need to hear something from this bank. By that time, the guy called me back. He said, Leonard, you ain't going to believe it. He said, no, you will believe it. He said, you've been approved. He said, you've been approved, Leonard. Not only was I approved, but on paperwork, I only have around 11 years to own that house. But I'm going to own it way before 11 years ever get here. This is a house, according to one banker, I should not even be in, but I'm moving ahead of schedule to own that. To own what she said was out of my range, but not the God that I serve. Come on. But I had to only believe. See, the reason I know that some of us are not only believing is because of how we fail to truly pursue the thing we say we expect to come to pass. I was dogged in getting what God said was mine. Do you hear me? Even to the point one day I was faxing paperwork every day. Every day these folk was asking me for things, asking me to jump to the loop. But did I miss not one time of doing what they said I needed to do? Getting them back the information that they said I needed to get in. I was on it that day. Come on, I'm trying to show some of you that you don't really only believe. Because you drag your feet a little too much for me to tell me that you dog it in what you want or what you expect God to do. Come on, somebody. I don't want to upset nobody, but some of you need to check yourself tonight. But see, it was able to come to pass again because I only believed. I had my daughter walk in one day and I was doing something. She said, Daddy, what do they have you doing now? She said, see, people just, I said, don't think like that. I said, this is my process. I said, this is my process. Come on. See, you got to know and be willing to go through whatever it takes for the promise to come into fruition. You got to be willing. See, I'm preaching to somebody and you don't want to listen to me tonight. You got to be willing. If it takes getting up every day at a certain time to pray, you got to get up every day at a certain time and pray. Come on. If it demands that you ride out gas, often just going to a particular place, you keep doing it. You keep doing it. Come on. What I'm trying to show you is that it's going to take something to exclude certain things. And some of you, it's apparent that you're not up for the fight. You're not up for the battle that is going. What you mean, Pastor, battle? That's exactly what it is. When you're looking to get something that God said you can have and there are adversaries, then prepare for war. It ain't a game. Prepare to do battle. And so you have to be careful who or what you allow to interfere. I never forget Brother Rodney receiving a word in reference to a man not having excuses, getting up doing what was in his power to do. I said in a message, whether you got to rake leaves, and I said these words in a message, or get you a bottle of Windex and go door to door, washing and cleaning windows, do what you need to do. Out of that, God spoke something into his spirit. He spoke a business. Hold on. But it was going to take him only believing. Remember what I said earlier? Things and people will try to interfere. When you started Rojacks, did you have a truck? No truck. How are you going to start a cleaning business with no truck? The one thing any business person would try to tell him is that at least get you a truck and come back and talk to us. Did you have a large professional ladder? See, I'm talking to somebody tonight. Now, depending on who he would have talked to, they would have told him that it wasn't God because he didn't have everything he needed up front. I just spoke to somebody. You even have to exclude church people because church people are known for talking people out of their blessing. You don't let nobody tell you not to start something because of what you don't have if God put it in you. Now Rojacks has to be worth 6 figures. Now he not only has a truck, he got a backup truck. Only believe. Only believe. It's war when you believe it. It's battle when you are believing. You're going to be tested. You're going to be hit. You're going to be confronted. Enough of us don't see it as war. Therefore, we don't exclude certain things. See, when you believe in God for something, it's war. It's battle. When God shows up and says to you, you can have this, you might as well hear it as war. Things coming now to attack my mind that ain't ever tried to attack my mind. Things coming now to make me doubt that I haven't had to contend with since I've been saved. But that's all normal. I wish somebody just say, but that's all normal.